My name is Chinmayee Abbey, and I'm an internationally certified career coach. Why am I here today? Well, first and foremost, I want to take a moment to thank one and all for showering so much love on our last video. So this was the rendezvous with Mr. PradipMukherji, the last interview that I did. And, it's been an incredible journey ever since. We are truly overwhelmed with so much of love and affection that you've expressed on that video, from all over the world. It's been really heartening, humbling, and really grateful. Thank you so much once again for all your love. In continuation to that, I am now launching this new series, which is called Exploring Life with God. And I truly hope that you enjoy it because we are putting in a lot of hard work, a lot of effort to bring this series for you, especially. And this primarily, caters to the people who are seeking God, who want to explore life with God, and especially those who have read this book, Message from God. I'm sure you've read it. If you've not, please pick it up today and read this book and keep it with you. Uh, this whole new world will open up for you once once you have this book and you establish this connection with God, someone who we did not know until last few years ago. So this series is about exploring life with God, as I said, and I'm going to interview guests, people who have had a relationship with God, or who are living their life with God day in and day out. So, on that note, let me share a little bit about our first guest today. Her name is Mrs. Mohini Dayal, and we kickstarting this journey, this series with her, starting with her. Mrs. Mohini is a dynamic woman, a caring wife, a wonderful mother, and a loving grandmother. She was always perceived as a religious person, someone who has an extremely practical outlook in life. And I've known her for last several months since I started my journey with God, and she's part of the same community, and I'm super grateful for her to be here today. So she was living her life, and she was seen as this religious woman, a practical woman, until she found her yearning to be with God. And one day, finally, as luck would have it, she found God. And since then, in her own words, she says, there has been no looking back. So, on that note, I want to welcome Mrs. Mohini Dayal. Mohini ji, welcome to you. Hello and good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Good. I am good. Thank you so much for such a lovely introduction. Is the
I am
sun?
so excited.
Yeah. Can you see me?
Yes, we
I
can
can't.
see
Oh,
you, can
okay.
hear you absolutely loud and clear,
Fine.
and you look so lovely.
Thank
Thank you
you so
so much.
much. I love you people giving me so much of love, respect, and care. I really wonder when all this thing happened. And this was a great opportunity for me to speak about myself, about whatever you asked me.
Sure. No, I'm really overwhelmed and really excited to
Thank
be
you.
spending this amazing time with you. So thank you so much for making the time, for being here today. And what brings us together today is
Yes. Oh, yes.
message from God, right?
Yes.
So, Mohini ji, my first question to begin with is just share a little bit about yourself.
Okay, you're talking about my identity now, right? Which is very
Yes,
important once we are in this world, on this planet Earth. I
absolutely.
was brought up in a very big joint family. You
Okay.
can't believe it in today's time when there are only two brother sister can't share a room. We were 65 people, 65
What?
people living in a Haveli in old Delhi in Chandni Chowk area.
Beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, so we really knew how to adjust very well. And then after my schooling from the same area, I did my BSc Home Science from Lady Evan College. That's again in New Delhi. And after that, that happened. It was in 1969. I passed out in 1974. I got married to the love of my life, Naresh Dayal, after a courtship of
Wow.
4 years.
Back in the day,
he
courtship for
was
4 years.
Yeah, he was still a student and I was the
Unimaginable.
earning one. I was working in AIMS at that time.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. So you
Yeah.
were working at Ames, you said. You were
Yes.
in the,
Before marriage, I was working at Ames, and
all right.
then my husband was posted in Bombay, so obviously I had to quit the work. I was in the
Hmm.
research of biochemistry there.
Okay.
And then life had different plans. In 74 January, we got married. And then we have two lovely children. My daughter is Radhika. She lives close by. And my son is Ashwini, who lives in Houston in the US. They have their own lovely families to take care of now. And then once they grew up, and that was the time when actually that thing comes again, it starts that what to do now. You have more time to yourself.
Yeah.
And I started selling World Book Encyclopedia in those days. In
Okay.
from 85 to 89, I did that work, and did so pretty well in that, because then I was gifted a trip to the international conference to the US and other
Wow.
places, being the best first four people in World Book Encyclopedia. And I still love doing those things. And then the business set in. We started, me and my husband, we both started our export business called Mohini Exports. We had factories in Noida, and
Wonderful.
knitting sweaters, exporting sweaters for 16
Interesting.
long years. Yeah.
Wow.
But then children got married, and then 9/11 happened, and things were not going that smooth anymore with business. So he was called back by his corporate person whom he was working earlier with, and we had to shift to Bombay. And I was really
Got
wondering why, what is really happening? Why the move of from my own place from Delhi to
it.
Bombay? I had
Hmm.
no idea what is in store for me there. Because till then, I was brought up by a religious grandmother, very
Hmm.
loving atmosphere, and a very practical mom. So, with a good atmosphere, I was like brought up as a good human being. I think so.
I'm sure. I know that for sure.
But this identity started right from when you're born. You are a daughter, you are a sister, you are a wife, you are a mother, you are a grandmother, you are a businesswoman. Everything is all around our identity in this world. And then now today, I'm a very happy healing facilitator. That's what I
Wow.
can say. Anything about me right now?
Incredible. What an incredible journey you've had,
I really
Mohini.
believe that I'm 74. I've seen 74 years of
Wow.
life.
Wow. That's good.
Yes.
That's good. Well, that brings me to my next question. First of all, thank you so much for walking us through your journey. You- how would you define your journey, before meeting God and before, after meeting Him, after having God in your life?
See, as I told you that we moved to Bombay, that was in 2006. 1990, we
Okay.
started business. 2006, we moved to Bombay. I had no idea what's in store for me. I wasn't very happy leaving my city. But when I went to Bombay, I really didn't know why, and I've come here because from a religious person, there I become a spiritual person. The whole thing had changed so much. I didn't know what is really happening. So in spirituality, then I went for Vipassana first there,
Mm-hmm,
Igatpuri,
mm-hmm.
very beautiful place. बस मुझको बहुत चुप नहीं रह सकती मैं, बहुत बोलने का शौक है, खाने का शौक है, और विपासना में जाकर आपको 10 दिन चुप रहना
चुप
होता
रहना पड़ता
है
है.
in a meditative pose, और खाना भी आपको दिन में बस ब्रेकफास्ट और लंच मिलता है,
See, I've
nothing.
heard about it. Right.
Yeah. So I was hesitating for a long time not to go, but then I said, चलो चलते हैं, ये भी करके देखते हैं. And that's
So,
where my
so I,
spiritual journey started.
I'm interrupting you here a little bit. So,
But
what
yeah,
was it inside of you that was, what was that thing which kept you going and seeking something on the outside?
I think it's not just this life work, maybe many
Mm-hmm.
lifetimes that I've been a seeker. But in this
Okay.
particular life, it started happening because there was some mishap happened in my daughter's life. So I was looking for
Mm-hmm.
something which will give me some peace, some happiness. So I was
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
actually seeking that. So I
And what
started there.
happened? What happened after you met God?
After I met God, that was a little later. So
Right.
in between is a journey of another 16 years
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when I actually met God, and this
Okay.
happened. Yeah,
Okay.
from Vipassana, then I went for a health mela with my daughter, And there I met some people who was teaching Reiki. So I did my level 1, level 2, level 3,
Wow.
master, then mastership, everything. And I was healing people with Reiki,
So you
12
dabbled
energies.
in so many modalities, in healing
Yes.
modalities.
Yeah.
Right.
After
Right.
Reiki, then I did angel healing. I did numerology because I love numbers. And I did
Got it.
hypnotherapy, radical healing. It was going
Got it.
on. There was no end to it. Till my husband retired in 2011.
Hmm.
And then he also got into the journey of seeking God,
Spiritual journey. Got it.
spiritual
Got it.
journey. And then both of us got into access consciousness in 2013. That we
Wow.
did for 7 long years.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
something was not really, I was not very happy. Something was missing. Even
Something
though
was
my
missing.
husband was doing very well in that thing, he
Mm-hmm.
was a facilitator for many, many modalities within access. But by 2016, actually, when we have learned from Pradeep sir that God came in that year, something had
Hmm.
shifted inside me. So something is happening. I'm not happy. कुछ तो missing है. कहीं कोई
What's
missing
missing?
link है life में. But then I was persuading him also to leave, but it was not happening. It wasn't happening. So I continued, and we were fine with whatever was happening. Till we actually were invited by a lovely friend, our dear Monica, to come and attend God's class.
Got it.
And I said, चलो ये भी करके देख लेते हैं. इतनी चीजें करी हैं लाइफ में, ये भी करके देख लेते हैं. I had no idea what's in store for me. So in February 2020, I did my first class, which was at that time called God's Freedom Technique.
Right.
And I
Right.
started my journey from there, and there is no looking back since then. And my quest actually got over since then.
Over. And I
Oh,
totally relate with that
yeah.
one. Just to pause a little bit here.
Yeah.
Everything that was happening in those workshops is today available in this book, right? So for people who are seeking God, who've not met God till now, or they don't know who God is and who God is not, please pick this up, pick this book from the website. The details are going to be there in the link below. But pick up this book, read it, and see what is in store for you and what life could be with God. Mohini ji, on that note, if you could tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about what really brought you to God, and I think that part you've touched upon in your journey, where you were dabbling with so many modalities. There was something which was not fitting in. There was something, that feeling of incompletion, and
Yes.
I can relate with that totally in my own journey. And I know how complete we feel once we meet God, and feel satiated,
Yes.
frankly.
Yes.
So, what really made you choose God? Because after the
It-
workshop, I know there's a moment when we have to choose God, right? For
yeah.
the first time in our life, we are given a choice. So far, we've never had choice. But the first time we know that there is a choice to choose God. What made you choose God?
See, as I just said, I wasn't really happy with the access consciousness going on at that time, but I was not able to dissuade my husband from it. So
Mhm.
that was one thing. So I said, let me try another thing. But it wasn't really a conscious choice, Shirma. It is God who chooses you. We cannot choose God. So he chose, and then there are no regrets and there's no looking back from there. And but when I actually went for the first class, everything went above my head. I really didn't know where I am, what is happening, and
You
what
feel
things were
shaken up. You
takes
feel shaken
totally
up.
shaken up. Yeah, for
Yeah,
70
yeah.
years of your life, if you are following, now we know deities, which we understood
Correct,
at that time as gods.
correct.
And then things, yeah, when things change and suddenly, and then certain things, God, sir, we call PradipMukherji, sir. He's the messenger of God, whom I've learned so much that he's literally like a living God for us now. So when he's there, he told me, I still remember one sentence he said. He said, good people are not authentic. I said, what? What do you mean? I had been proud of myself of being good. And there somebody comes and tells me on my face that good people are not
Not
inauthentic.
authentic.
They're not authentic.
It,
And I
it's
said,
like
sir,
an identity crisis.
yeah, it was. And I said, sir, क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप? He said, you will come to know one day. And it was so right. Today I know what is being
Hmm.
inauthentic and what is being authentic.
Authentic.
So, एक,
And how
हाँ,
and how we don't know that we don't know, because we are living in this, this whole matrix and
yes,
the way our society
absolutely.
operates,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Yes.
So, and Moini ji, if I have to ask you, one is that we made a choice, and you said something really, really profound, कि हम God को नहीं choose करते, God chooses us. And I've seen this with other people, so many people who wanted to choose God, but something or the other took them away, because the only explanation being that for some reason or the other, the God's grace, was not there, or whatever it is, that they could not stick with God for a longer duration of time. So, what is your take on, about you and your life, or having been with God for now 4 years, right? 4 years?
4 years. Yeah, a little over 4 years now.
Right. So, what made you stick with God? Because it's not been easy, right? आप कुछ rituals करते थे, इतने साल आप मंदिर जाते थे या कोई पूजा पाठ करते थे, और suddenly having that social, because it is so much there in our social fabric, and
Yes.
suddenly you would say that no, now I have met the Supreme and I want to be with Him, and I want to totally disconnect from everything else, which is not God. How did you stick with that?
See,
How did you
God's
stick with
grace
God?
was with me. God's grace was with me because on my return journey from Delhi to Bombay in February 2020, when my first client called up, but when my client called up, I'll not say because I was using access tools till then, and he says that I want this is my problem. I said, this is what I'm using now. I'm not using access anymore. She said, I don't care as long as you do whatever is required. So and it took a few days. I'll not say immediately I just closed my temple in the house and all. It took about three,
Yeah.
4, 5 days. But it was pretty fast, I'll say. That I could
Hmm.
do that. The reason I could do that is because I could see the shifts happening in my life. I mean, you think of something and it happens.
Happens.
Sometimes you really wonder what is really happening. And then we use certain tools, which is called dowsing rod or a muscle test. And we confirm that is this really
Confirmed.
coming from God? Yeah, it is coming from God. And things are happening miraculously. Even though we say there are no miracles, everything is about storyline. See, for people, I must say that we call storyline what everybody knows as destiny.
Destiny.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So it is all written before we
Correct.
are born to
Correct.
that. It was written in my destiny that I will meet. So whatever was happening like, and that is the time when COVID started.
Hmm.
See, February 20 it happened and March COVID started. So I couldn't meet sir and couldn't attend classes for 1 full year. But that whole year, God was sending me clients, and I could see result. At that time, Chinmayee, there was a client I will call them client, but whatever, that person came and he was suffering from this liver cirrhosis.
With the
When
philosophy.
85% of liver was gone, and the person's age was just 40 years old. His wife
Right.
approached me. I took permission from God, and when I got permission, I started doing the sessions. And with God's grace, 4.5 years now, the person is hale and hearty. So he wasn't getting a donor first because it was COVID time. Nobody, no accidental deaths happening. Sorry to even touch such a
Yeah.
sensitive subject, but things were shifting in people's lives, and
So,
that
so
gave me
what
a
you're
new
saying is
confidence.
that with God, not only did you transform your life, but also the lives of your clients whose
Yes, many
life
lives.
you touched because of God's grace and healing
Yeah,
through God's energies, right?
yeah. And yeah, one more thing I would like to point out here is in access consciousness or any other modality that I was practicing earlier, so-called modalities, I was going and looking for clients. When I came in touch with God, with this, whoever God wants to heal sends him or her to me. I don't have to go and search.
I have to tell you, this sounds very familiar because I'm a
Yes,
career coach myself, right? So
yeah,
there were 100 things that I was doing before coming to God.
yeah,
And trust me, it's been almost 1.5 years. I don't think I've ever thought about work as
yes,
work, that where is my next client coming from, or how's my
yeah,
business gonna
yes,
thrive or
yes, yes.
run or survive even. But
Uh-huh.
touch wood, there's been complete abundance. And thank you
Yeah.
for sharing, Moini ji. And आपने एक बहुत अच्छी बात बोली थी कि immediately आपने सबको छोड़ा नहीं with all the the rituals and everything. I remember sir saying this once कि आप कुछ मत छोड़िए, अपने आप गिरेगा. Remember in one of the workshops he said,
Yes,
अपने आप
yes.
गिरने दीजिए.
हाँ,
And that is so true and profound. और हम चाहे भी तो वो चीज explain नहीं कर सकते intellectually, because it is like when you found the ultimate, this everything else actually drops. Everything else gets satiated, dropped. There's no more desire and need to find or follow anybody else or pray anybody else, right? So
yeah.
please
जब
आप
आपको
बोल रहे थे
ट्रूथ पता लग जाता है तो आप कैसे उस पर्दे के पीछे जाएंगे?
फिर वापस करेक्ट
जा ही नहीं सकते जब आपको मालूम है कि दिस इज व्हाट हैज बीन हैपनिंग इन माय लाइफ एंड दिस इज व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इन माय लाइफ नाउ.
या
I will stick to that God, which yeah, Supreme God is something which I can actually relate to. I can talk to.
talk to. And
Yeah.
just like a friend, sometimes, God has extremely playful energy, like a childlike
Yes.
energy. And he doesn't
Yeah.
want us to actually, revere him or respect him or
Uh,
pray to him.
uh,
But, I speak to him like I do with my dad, kya kar rahe ho aap? Get me, I need to do this. So, it's
uh,
amazing. And
uh,
pura, I think kitne ghante lag jayenge, we start talking about our
yeah.
conversations with God. But
Yeah.
on that note, it brings me to my last question, Moini ji,
Uh,
that first of all, thank you so much once again for all the time
thank
and for
you.
your sharing about your amazing journey with God.
Yeah.
What is this one message that you want to give to people out there who are actually seeking God? चाहे वो कहीं फंसे हुए हैं लाइफ में या स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं या they are unhappy or they are sick or whatever they may be dealing with life. What is that one core message you want to give them today?
Are you sure you want me to give only one message? I can give any. If you want.
Next एक और वीडियो करना पड़ेगा, but for today, yeah, just one message about this, because this is the access they have, right?
Yes. See, so far we had been only learning about Supreme God and the true God in our the workshops. But
Yeah,
today everything is out in the book. And as Sir says, that this is not a book which you have to just read. You have to just talk to the book, talk to your
yeah,
problems, talk to your
absolutely.
issues. Yeah. And for 30 days, just talk to the book for 30 days. अरे इतने साल आपने जो भी जिसको आप गॉड कहते हैं, भगवान कहते हैं, डेटी कहते हैं, उतनी उसकी करके देख ली. 30 दिन, सिर्फ 30 दिन, जिससे हम कुछ मांग नहीं रहे आपसे, इसके लिए कोई पैसा नहीं लग रहा, कोई आपका कुछ नहीं लग रहा. जस्ट टॉक टू दिस बुक for 30 days, to talk to this picture for 30 days and speak all your issues. But of course, one thing has to be, you have to be very committed for 30 days. Don't do it for 3 days and not do for 3 days and do for 3 days and then leave it. So once you do it for 30 days, see, and then you can give it a score also. See, from 0 to 10, if this is my problem, where is it 30 days
It's
later?
true.
Not that your everything becomes
Yeah.
100%, but your physical suffering, emotional,
मुझे
psychological, any suffering.
मुझे एक चीज और लगती है कि कई बार ये बड़ा काउंटर इंट्यूटिव है. आपको लगता है कि यार आप कुछ मांग नहीं रहे हो, दिस बुक हार्डली कॉस्ट एनीथिंग. तो लोगों को शायद
हाँ.
लगता है कि अरे इतने आराम से गॉड कैसे मिल सकते हैं, सिर्फ 30 डेज बात करनी है. सो समटाइम्स and that is the most magical thing I found through this work, Moini ji, that God actually resides in the simplest of things, right?
Exactly.
And that is who the
Exactly.
true God is. So
Yeah.
wow. So please go ahead, pick up this book, start talking to this picture, which where God resides as of now, and see it for yourself. And I don't think there is any convincing required. There's this thousands and thousands of people now who read this book, who are living with God day in day out. We have one great example right in front of us today. And you've been, you've had this amazing journey for the last 4 years, and I personally know that I want to, when I breathe my last, I want to just look at this face and say, God, I'm just happy that I'm coming to you. So, that's the
Yeah.
kind of life I want to live personally. And I'm sure so many others too who relate with this.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you so much, Moini ji, for your time and for
Thank
sharing.
you.
It's been truly amazing and humbling. Thank you so much. Thank you. Any last
Can I
words,
say
ma'am?
one more thing?
Yes, please go on.
I can just say one more thing, that live as if you are the captain of the ship, but remember that nothing is in your hand. Just, yeah. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again, ma'am.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's been
God
amazing.
bless you.
Bye-bye.
God bless
Thank
everybody
you.
listening to this. Thanks.
Thank you, Moini ji. Bye. And all of you who are watching, go ahead, pick up the book and see the magic unfold. On that note, goodbye and good luck. I'll see you in the next interview with another guest, exploring life with God. Bye-bye.